heading down Scott Gulf Road right now. Gravel road that kind of runs right into Scotts Gulf Wilderness State Park. On the left side of the road right now is Bridgestone Firestone Centennial Wilderness. That's TWRA property, Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. On the right side of the road right now is Nature Conservancy property, which is technically private property. We do have access to it with permission at times to run a race through there that we run through this area once a year. We're making our way down to Yellow Bluff right now, where we're going to be camping tonight. Yellow Bluff is just a dispersed area, just a little ways from a really nice overlook of Scotts Gulf and the Caney Fork River. We'll show that to you guys later. We'll get back with you here in a minute when we get set up. Alright guys, we're down here at Yellow Bluff Campground. It's just a dispersed area. I honestly don't know now that the property lines have changed if we're in state park or if we're still on TWRA, but regardless, this is a dispersed area. I've camped here, I can't tell you how many times in the past, a bunch. Right now the bugs are terrible right down here. But we're going to camp here tonight. There's a really nice overlook down here, just maybe a quarter mile from here down the trail. Another really nice overlook called Welch Point, not too far from here. We may drive down and see that here in a little bit too, or maybe tomorrow. A lot of folks go down there for sunset. This is one of the bad things about coming down here though, is Scott Gulf Road, is gravel. So anybody with a topper or a soft topper like me, anybody that sleeps in their truck bed, you're dealing with this right here. You're dealing with, you can see that. It's just part of it. Oh well. We're going to get this dusted off, kind of start getting set up, get everything out and set up, and we'll see you guys here in a minute. All right. Hey guys, so we're set up. Finally, took me a little bit, not terrible, but I think my biggest thing is to try and get the hang of setting this canopy up. Just bought a canopy, just a cheap canopy off of Amazon a while back, and had my wife sew a couple of buckles on the canopy that comes with loops, and I took a couple of spots and had her sew some canvas straps through the buckles and sewed the buckles onto the canopy. And if you've got a soft topper, I just take these and snap them right to the top of the soft topper and put the poles out. So that's my anchor. I don't have to have the suction cups or anything. Can't use those since it's a soft topper. But we're down here today and tonight at Yellow Bluff Dispersed Campground down here. And you know, I guess this is state park now. It may be state parks. I'm not really sure. The lines have changed. Property boundaries have changed. This used to be all TWRA. I've camped right here, man, I mean a bunch through the years. But I think this may actually be state parks now. One of the reasons for that is there's a Yellow Bluff overlook is just maybe a quarter mile, 3/10 of a mile down the trail here from where we're camped at off Scotts Gulf Road. And I think state parks took the overlooks as part of their property, or it was given to them. They didn't take it, it was given to them in the land swap that TWRA and state parks did a while back to establish this new state park. But it still does border TWRA land over here, and most of the TWRA land, or all of it really, well, not all of it, no, it all is up on top now, so nothing down in the gorge down to the river, nothing like that. They do have I think they've moved their dove hunting to a spot called Big Bottom Unit. Big Bottom Unit is actually what it's called. They've got dove fields down there now. They plant sunflowers and stuff down there. It's a really nice area. Big Bottom is beautiful. But we're here camping tonight, and this is a really kind of a remote area, but now that it's a state park, I think more people will come and access will be a little better maybe as you go. I know in years past, some of these trails that we used, or I used down here on a regular basis, that were TWRA property, they just weren't maintained that well, and that's not the focus of TWRA, I understand that. But when state parks took it over, of course, trails is more of a focus for state parks. So the trails are in fantastic shape now. Comparatively speaking, they are 100% better. I used to come down here and spend 2 to 3 weeks at a time clearing trail, and it was just a massive job. But there is a great trail down here that runs along the Caney Fork River called the Caney Fork River Trail. Big surprise there. Great trail. Goes from one end of the gorge at the headwaters of the Caney Fork River near there all the way down to Big Bottom. And in years past, in olden times, there were a couple of little small towns down there. I think one was called Dodson and one was called Bethesda. So I may have to fact check myself on that, but I believe that is true. There are a couple of old cemeteries down there. Really remote area, but people lived here a long time ago. There are a lot of waterfalls here, overlooks, waterfalls. It's a gorgeous area, a great area to get to and explore. Most of the park, really all of the park that you're going to be able to drive to and hike to and see, it's going to be on the north side of the Caney Fork River. The park actually does encompass quite a bit of land on the south side of the Caney Fork River. No bridges across the Caney Fork River, walking bridges or driving bridges, at least in this area. You can drive 20 minutes up the road, 25 minutes up the road on a little back road, country winding road, and you will have a little bridge that crosses, or you can drive south pretty good ways, at least 30 minutes. I'm guessing both directions, 30 minutes roughly, is how long it's going to take you to get to a bridge. Both of them are on really narrow, winding country roads that will take you across the Caney Fork River, and from there, it's quite a distance again over to the south side, access to the south side area. And there's not a lot of trails over there. There are trails. Really, the best way to get to the south side of the river is this time of year, September, October. The Caney Fork River is down to dry, really almost bone dry. If it might be flowing, I've not been down to the river today yet, but it's easier to just cross the Caney Fork River to get to the other side if you're here. You can drive to it, but the problem is on the south side, even though there is state park land over there, it's bordered by private property. You have to go through private property to get to the south side trails and stuff. And there's not a lot of trails. There's trails over there, but they're not really used. Like I said, it used to be TWRA. Those trails were there. They weren't really maintained. I've done a lot of maintenance on those trails myself over the years. This place is an absolute hidden jewel. If you ever get a chance to come to southeast White County in Tennessee and visit what is now Scotts Gulf Wilderness State Park, I would absolutely recommend it. It's all backcountry. There's no front country camping. It's all backcountry. It's hiking. If you want to camp here, you can camp at the Virgin Falls, which is really the crown jewel of this whole area. It's packed. You can come through here any time of the year, and you won't see anybody hardly out here anywhere else on the property or in the park. But if you pass by Scotts Gulf Road, the trailhead in the parking area for Virgin Falls, it will be overflowing. Everybody comes here to go see Virgin Falls. And eventually we'll plan a trip down there. What I'd like to do, and I've not ever done it as many times as I've been here over the years, I have never camped at Virgin Falls, mainly because it's always packed. Used to, you could hike in and just camp. It was first come, first served. Now it's a state park. That's not possible. So they're going to start putting reservation. All these camp areas are backcountry, but they're going to be added to a reservation system. Probably a really good idea to do that because it's such a popular area, at least Virgin Falls. And as this state park becomes more well known, I'm sure the rest of these backcountry camping areas will become pretty well used too. There's a couple more that are well used in here down at the river, and it's once you're down at the river at the Fork Hole. It's where Bee Creek and the Caney Fork River come together at the confluence. It's called the Fork Hole Ford and the Fork Hole Campsite down at the river. It's another 2 miles down, and it gets pretty rough down through there. We're not driving down there today. The road gets, at a certain point, pretty rough, and you got to go really slow. The last 2 miles will take you 20 or 25 minutes to get down. Maybe not quite that long, but if you're smart, you'll go slow. It's been a while since I've had a chance to talk to you guys. I started this channel back in, I think, earlier part of the year, Memorial Day, something like that, and thought to myself, man, I'm going to just do this, and we're going to start this because I've got so much I want to do and say and explore and share. But it's been a year. Started the year off right off the bat with a knee replacement January 8th. That slowed me down a little as far as recovery goes. It wasn't that bad, but it took a little while to kind of get back as far as hiking and stuff like that go. But also, shortly after that, about a month and a half into the new year, my stepfather passed away. And they had just sold their home in December, just a couple months before, and moved into a long-term suite or long-term stay suite because they didn't want to be rushed to find their next home. They sold theirs and said, we're going to live here for a little while, find the exact house we want. In the process of that happening, he passed away unexpectedly, unfortunately, and we have, I have, and my sister and my brother as well, are all playing roles in trying to get my mother, and she's pretty much settled in now, but at the beginning, dealing with the death of my stepfather, also dealing with Social Security, pensions, you name it. There was a ton of stuff that we had to deal with, and getting her into a permanent place to stay. There are storage units that are packed full right now, 40 years of their life together, which I'm slowly kind of going through, selling off, giving away, keeping, whatever. There's just a ton of stuff. My stepfather was an amazing person, extremely brilliant, could do anything. I know that's a saying that everybody's heard somebody say that about at some point in their lives. Oh, that guy can do anything. My stepfather was that guy. If you wanted to rebuild an engine, he could do it. If you wanted to side your house, he could do it. If you wanted to build a violin from scratch, he could do it. I mean, the guy could do literally anything. I'm not even scratching the surface of all the things that he did. He was an extremely talented person, and because of that, he had a lot of hobbies and collected a ton of stuff. He bought quality equipment. He was a knife maker. He was a beer maker. He made violins from scratch. Was an incredibly intelligent person, and it was into everything. But like I said, because of that, tons of stuff that we now have in our storage units. My mother has. We don't have. My mother does. And been slowly going through that. That's one of the reasons I haven't been out getting episodes put together as much as I'd like to. I have been camping some this year. Mainly the last couple of weeks we've been in the RV with the wife. Been a couple of times with my daughter, and that was daddy-daughter time, so we didn't really film anything. But we went to the Hiawassee River and went down the Hiawassee River one day, stayed at the Hiawassee-Ocoee State Park. I stayed in this. She stayed in a tent. She loves the outdoors, and we went to a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, maybe a month. I can't remember. We went to Red River Gorge and did some rock climbing and a Via Ferrata they have up there. Actually, I'm wearing their shirt right now. Southeast Mountain Guides. It was phenomenal. It was an absolutely exciting experience. I really enjoyed it. She enjoyed it too. There were a couple of it really tests your mental and your physical skill as well, but mainly your mental. My daughter may have her come on one time and tell you guys about the mental and physical wall that we did, the last wall we did together that we went across on a Via Ferrata. It was very challenging, mentally and physically, for her as well. But it was fun. Have been out a few times, just have not made any content. And the year is starting to get a little bit late, but we're going to start doing that. As the year has went on, I have started perfecting my setup a little bit. I've got my soft topper, as I talked about in my first episode. This is a no-build truck camping setup. So soft topper on my Silverado. I popped this on this morning. I usually have a tonneau cover on. I took that off, put the soft topper on. I also have an extension. It's a topper tent extension because I have a 5'8" bed. I'm 6'1", so I bought the topper extension. That works out well. Had my wife help me make this. Bought a couple of telescoping poles off of Amazon. Red Camp, I think they are. I'm not real certain what the name brand is, but they just telescope out. I use those. Cheap lights. Got an inverter on a power source I made in here. I'll show you guys a little bit of my setup here. If I can do it without crashing here. So got the bed. That is a metal bed frame off Amazon. The legs that you can see here, those are collapsible. They fold in, and get this camera adjusted. There we go. They fold in, they collapse down, the bed folds in half, so it folds down to nothing. 4-inch memory foam mattress I bought off Amazon as well. I've had the sheets and the blanket, and of course that's my pillow from home. My refrigerator, it's a Booz, I think it's a 30-liter, but I'm not real certain. But it's a Booz RV. Like that refrigerator real well. Got a piece of carpet. I did a little short episode, I think not too long ago, on the custom carpet. I didn't buy a truck bed rug. They're not that expensive, but I just went to Home Depot, bought a roll of indoor carpet and cut it to fit, and that's how that works. And got my power source here, which you can kind of see. And this is just a Walmart battery box, and inside that Walmart battery box is a lithium iron phosphate battery that I bought, and I use it on my RV as well. And when I'm not using the RV, I take it off the RV and I stick it in this battery box, hook it up, and there is a plate on the top that has a dual USB, 3 12-volt plug-ins, a voltmeter, and an on-off switch. And in one of those right now, I have a fan that's plugged in. And on the other side, I have right now a little 500-watt converter or inverter that I don't have AC. This is all DC. Everything I'd run, the refrigerator, the fan, everything is DC. But it would be nice, I thought, occasionally, if I do need an AC plug, to have a little inverter. So I bought a little 500-watt inverter, and I plug it into the 12-volt. And what I'm doing right now, as you can see, I'm running my lights. I have little string lights I bought, and I'm just running the lights. Went camping at Red River Gorge a few weeks ago, like I said, with my daughter, and one of the things, as it got dark, man, we couldn't see. I've got the lights inside the truck bed that I've hardwired and mounted all inside there, and those stay in. They don't ever come out of the truck. Problem is, they don't really give off all that much light at night outside of the tent. Now, inside the topper tent, you're great. Outside of it, not so much. So I need a light outside. So I got these lights, and I plugged those in. And so it's getting a little bit late right now. The lights will start to show up a little bit better. Well, I'm kind of excited to see, really, since I've plugged those in, but this is the first time I've used those lights. We'll see how much light that actually puts off tonight. We'll have a little fire going here in a little while. We'll eat dinner, and I'll get back with you guys here in a little bit. So we're on our way down to Yellow Bluff to show you guys the overlook. It's only about a quarter mile, maybe 3/10 of a mile from where we're camped. But this right here, you can see the bluff, the wind blows off that bluff. We came through here last year, a friend of mine and myself, and we cleared all this. And it was an absolute nightmare. And I'm sure the state parks has been up through here a time or two as well and done some more clearing. But you can see down in the distance there, more trail or more trees leaning across the trail. Those will be coming down too. I'm surprised there are trees still standing here. As many fall as fall every year. It's crazy. But we'll end up coming through here and doing quite a bit more clearing, I'm sure, to keep these trails to the overlook cleared. And it's a mess, especially mostly they're pine, and the pines are just terrible for falling, and they're terrible to cut. But it is what it is. Yellow Bluff Overlook. Directly across, excuse me, bugs are everywhere down here. Directly across is Latimer Boy Scout Reservation. A fantastic spot over there. Those are some great folks. We've staged a race out of there several years, and we're looking at going back over there. But that's a great overlook over there as well. Not many people get to see that overlook over there on that point, but because it's you got to drive through private property quite a ways, and then back through some old logging roads to get back to that point, believe it or not. But coming off that bluff, there's a trail that goes down and comes to the river. Down here is the Caney Fork River. That's what's in the bottom down there. I don't hear it, so it's probably dry right now or very close to dry. But this spot right here is great. It's beautiful. the gorge you see over there going up the other little gap is Bee Creek. Bee Creek comes down and runs into Caney Fork River at the confluence down there. That's what we're calling Fork Hole Ford. And there's a campsite down there and a little natural ford to cross. And there's some trails on the other side that leads to. You can cross the river when it's dry. Most people don't get to do that though. I've done it quite a bit, but you've got to really want to go that direction. It's a beautiful spot down here. Another overlook not too far down from us, along the same bluff line here on the other side of Scott Gulf Road, quite a ways, 3 or 4 miles, is Welch Point Overlook. And it's more accessible, I guess. You can drive up to within about 100 yards of that. And it's a gorgeous overlook. It's really an iconic overlook down here. People come to watch the sunset, which there are some amazing sunsets over the Scotts Gulf down here. Yeah, not as many folks come over to the Yellow Bluff. It's a little bit more of a walk. And it's a little further down. You got to go past the road that cuts off to Welch Point to get to here. So it's quicker to get to Welch Point and more accessible. But this one right here is a little more private. What we're looking at is all basically state park. Even on the other side of the river, these slopes are on the other side of the river in front of us. That's all state park as well. State park leading up the bluff line. The top of the bluff line is going to be private property. It may actually still be public for a little ways, but Latimer being up there is private, Boy Scouts of America. But the other side of the river is very difficult to get to unless the river's down. You just walk across the river. We're going to come down here and do some more episodes as we get into this more, because there's just so much to see down here. There's some campsites that are being put in down on the river at another little creek called Polly Branch that runs into the Caney Fork River. I've camped down there before myself, and talked to the manager today, and they said they were working on putting some backcountry sites in down there. So we may end up doing that too. There are some beautiful, beautiful areas, very remote. You get down in this gorge, and there's a trail or two down there that lead along the river, Caney Fork River Trail. Not much else. There are some waterfalls that are accessible down through there. We're going to take you guys and show you as probably next year when the water's up. The waterfalls are more spectacular, of course. When the river's up, the water's higher, but makes it a little harder to catch it when the river is low enough to cross, but the waterfalls on the other side are still flowing good. We'll do that though. We do it about once a year. I'll cross the river with some friends and go see a couple of the remote waterfalls over there that there's no trail access to. You just have to know how to get to them. They're awesome waterfalls though, so we'll do that. We'll plan episodes. You come back down here probably several times. It's one of my favorite spots. All right, guys. Since we're down here camping for one night, I just got a couple of backpacking meals. Stopped at REI and got a couple of these today. These are my favorites. I took these with me on the Teton Crest Trail year before last when I did a through hike of that. And it may have just been that I had hiked all day and was starving, but when I ate one of these peak meals at night at Fox Creek Pass, I thought I was in heaven. Man, they were awesome. And I think there's a mental thing now going on, so that's all I usually buy is these peaks. This is the breakfast. I'll have that tomorrow. What are we having for dinner? Something simple. Beef pasta marinara. These are so good, man. So good. I think that's actually what I had on the Teton Crest Trail that first night. It was amazing. I could not believe how good it was. They always say 2 servings. Everybody knows. I'm eating the whole thing, right? Nobody's eating half that and keeping it for later or whatever, resealing it. It's not happening. You're eating the whole thing, especially if you're in the backcountry, been hiking all day. Peak, good stuff, man. They do not sponsor me. I'm not affiliated with them at all, but man, I love their stuff. They've some of the best, and they got high calorie contents as well. That's one of the things that when I was backcountry hiking, I looked at the calorie content. 2 servings of this is over 1,000 calories. When you're in backcountry and you're hiking all day and you're only having a couple of big meals, you want calories. These have a lot of calorie content. It's one of the reasons I like them. Not only do they have high calorie content, they're awesome. They taste great. So, dinner tonight, breakfast tomorrow, jet boil. We're not doing anything fancy. So we're jet boiling backpacking meals tonight. And I'm going to get started on that. Maybe start a fire here in a minute. Kick back, drink an adult beverage, and we will see you guys a little bit later. Good morning, guys. Right now it is right at sunrise here. We're in Central Time Zone, but just barely. Right now it's 6:45. I can see the sun peeking up above Yellow Bluff down here right now through the trees and the woods. We're going to try and figure out something we can get to today to show you guys. Considering going down to Virgin Falls and showing you guys that. That's a pretty good hike. 2 or 3 waterfalls along the way. You really need to carve out a whole day for that. I don't know if I'm going to have a whole day. It's not that far in. It's only about 4 miles to Virgin Falls, but there's falls along the way and some stuff that you might want to see along the way as well. So it takes a little while to get to Virgin Falls. Might do that. Haven't decided yet. We'll definitely go down here and do a little bit of Welch Point just down. It's another overlook. It's actually the most popular overlook down here. Folks can drive up to within just 100 yards of it and walk out to a beautiful outcropping of rocks and overlooks the canyon there, or the Gulf. We don't call them canyons here. I don't know why, but I guess it's a depth thing. Maybe canyons are deeper and gorges, and gulfs are not as deep. But Scotts Gulf is a beautiful beautiful gulf carved out by the Caney Fork River. There's a couple of great overlooks, one being Yellow Bluff, we were out last night, and Welch Point. We'll show you guys that here in a little while. Maybe possibly, if I talk myself into it, after breakfast, we'll go down and see if we can get at least to Big Laurel Falls. Big Laurel Falls is on the way to Virgin Falls, and it's a really great waterfall as well. It's a huge rock house that you can walk way back into beneath the falls. If you get behind the falls and walk back into this big rock house, water actually falls off of Big Laurel Falls and flows backwards into that cave and disappears into in the ground inside that cave. So, or in the rock house, not really a cave. But we'll see what we decide to get done, and we'll catch back up with you guys later. All right, guys, check this out. Walking through the woods back behind my truck here where I'm set up camp, I found this pretty cool little plant. Looking it up on the Google, says it's the ghost pipe or Indian pipe. So I'll show you guys that. Pretty cool. Never know what you're going to come across walking through the woods. Hey guys, so last night we showed you Yellow Bluff on the other side of the gorge, and now we're at Welch Point. Really the most popular overlook there is down here in Scotts Gulf, I would think. Everybody comes here. It's a real short walk from the parking area. Beautiful spot. See the Caney Fork River down there. Looking pretty dry. Not much flow this time of year. Beautiful view of the entire Scotts Gulf. So we're looking back up towards Latimer Boy Scout Reservation that direction. The north end of the river, and the river's flowing the direction I'm going now. Shop Gap is directly in front of us on the other side of the river. And that's going toward Big Bottom. And Virgin Falls is just going to be right over here around one of these bluff lines coming around, just on the other side of that. But this is a really easy hike. Drive almost exactly right to it and just get out of your vehicle and walk about 100 yards and you're here. Beautiful view. All right, here we are at Hemlock Springs, about a mile down the Virgin Falls Trail from the trailhead. This is a brand new trail. Kind of takes us off a little side route that goes on the other side of Big Laurel Creek and ties back into Virgin Falls Trail at Big Laurel. So right at the waterfall. This is a nice little side trail. It avoids some pretty rocky terrain right above Big Laurel and gives you a view on, which didn't used to get to see, on the other side of Big Laurel Creek. As Virgin Falls goes down one side of the creek, Hemlock Springs goes down the other side of Big Laurel Creek. So we're going to take this one today, and I've not been on this trail the entire way back to where it ties into Big Laurel. We're going to do that today. All right, guys, let's hit it up and see what it looks like. Hey, little fella. Just stepped right over top of a trail friend, the old garter snake. Doesn't seem to be minding me too much. You may think he's hiding under that twig. Nope, you're not. I see you. Alright, so here we are at a trail junction. I just came down Hemlock Springs, a new trail that starts about a mile in from, well, not quite a mile in from the trailhead at Virgin Falls. Took Hemlock Springs all the way down to here. We'll turn right and go to Big Laurel Falls, which I don't hear flowing, so there's probably not much water over the falls right now. Very little, probably a trickle. This sign is new though. This used to be an old rescue route, and it looks like they have turned it into an actual trail now, maintained trail. Amber's Den to the left, and Amber's Den is another cool place, or a nice trail, Amber's Den Ridge Trail that this ties into down at the river. I've been on it many times. We'll take that again one of these times, show you guys more and more of this area. But for now, let's head over to Big Laurel and see what it looks like. So here's what I was talking about yesterday, guys, about Virgin Falls Trailhead being so popular. Everybody that comes to Scotts Gulf Wilderness comes to see Virgin Falls, and I don't blame them, but there are so many other things to see down here. Really trying to bring a little bit of awareness to what else is down here in some of these next videos. We'll come down here and camp some more. Parking lot's full, overflow's full, and I have seen it far worse than this. I mean, down both sides of the road, all the way back to Polly Branch parking area. But Virgin Falls is a very popular trail. It's actually fairly strenuous. It's not a nice, smooth, buffed out trail like you would think with all this traffic. It's still pretty rocky and rough, but folks tackle it every day. Weekends like this that are nice. It's crazy. We're going to showcase a few other things down here over the next coming few weeks, months, hopefully, and let everybody see what else is down here besides just Virgin Falls.